Hey, Andrew from Azito. Let me show you how to sharpen a chain for your chainsaw. It's really important to get your chainsaw chain nice and sharp for a couple of reasons. Not to mention the least, the financial reason, so you don't have to keep buying a new chain. But if you've got a perfectly sharpened chain, you're going to get a lot less twist in the cut and the chain is going to stay sharp a lot longer. So we want to get all of these little angles and all these little teeth to the exact same angle. And the perfect tool for that is the Power Exchange Chainsaw Sharpener. Now let me show you how to get your chain sharp. First of all, it comes straight out of the box like this. The best position to have it is clamped off on the side of your bench where you can nicely work on it. But here's another little tip. If you've got a piece of timber that's roughly 18mm to 20mm thick, you can bolt it directly to that and then you can clamp it off the side of your bench, which makes it a little bit more mobile, especially if you happen to go up the bush and you need to sharpen it while you're cutting all that firewood. Now that you've got your chainsaw sharpener securely fastened down, it's time to set it up. So you'll need to set the depth adjustment, which is how far down this blade will go. So we'll have a quick look there and we're going down too far. So the adjustment knob is here on the back. And that will come down and that's your stopper just there. So let's just wind that lock off knob off, just like that. And we're going to wind that down a bit, which means the blade's going to lift up. So the best thing to do is put it all the way down and spin that until it just lifts off the top of the chain. You can carefully see me lifting it up and down there until it just sits before it touches the bottom of the link, but just gets inside a tooth. All right. So now that we've got that locked off and it's touching there, I just need to lock this top knob off, just like that. I'm happy with that depth. Now it's about adjusting this part here, or this stopper. So the best way to do this is to back it right off, pull the stopper and back against the tooth, just there, and bring your blade down. Remember, we've got no battery in here, just for a bit of safety. And I'm just going to make sure it goes in between the tooth there. Now I can move that quite freely between there, but I want the side of this disc to just touch the cutting part of the chain. So I'll just wind this in, and you can see that it's moving the chain until it just touches, which is about there. Okay, so I'm happy with that just touching. Now you can lock this off. That chain will now not move through that little track. Now if you need to adjust this tension here, the way to do this is pull it back, spin it round, and you can tighten it off a little bit more if you wish. And vice versa if we put it in reverse. Now I'm happy, I can get that handle out of the way, and we're locked off. We lock this one off here to make sure that the chain doesn't change. And it's really quite simple from here. Firstly, we pick the angle that we need, which in this chain is 30 degrees. I've got a little dial down here, and I've just put the pointer arrow right on 30 degrees and locked the bottom knob off. Double check that just by eye to make sure it's going to sit in there again. And I think we've moved away a bit, so I'm going to unlock it. Pull that down until we just touch again. Okay, so we're just touching now, lock it off. And the way this will operate before we put the chain in is we'll be pulling this down and we just want to touch that tooth until we get a few sparks come out the back. So it's pretty much just pull it down and touch it. Then we're going to unlock this, pull it through, miss that tooth and put that tooth in place. Pull it back on the stopper. So pull it past a bit and then pull it back on the back of the tooth with this stopper. Lock it off and go again, just with a touch. Then we'll pull it through, miss that tooth again, lock it off there, and then pull that down just with a touch. But what about these other teeth I keep missing? What we'll do is once we've done all the teeth that are on this angle, we want to get the ones on the other angle. So we unlock underneath, we spin it all the way around to 30 degrees, just there. Unlock this, pull it through one tooth, because we're going to do the ones in between. Pull that down and it's already set up ready to go to just touch the sharpening edge of that tooth. Then it's a case of do the same thing again, miss one tooth, pull it through, lock it off, and pull it down with just a touch. And because this is a battery machine, we'll need to add a battery. Let's get one on the back there. Now we're ready to go. So let's double check our settings. Just before we turn it on, that's all good. Little button on the top, green for go and red for stop. Turn it on, nice little work light to help you see what's going on. And it's just a touch like that. Lock it off, pull it through, second tooth, pull it back on the stopper, lock it off. And just a little touch like that. And again, around to the next one. And you continue doing all of those teeth on that side, and then you'll spin it around, like I said before, to grab the other teeth. Now the real important part of this is that if every one of those angles on the teeth is exactly the same, you're going to get a nice smooth cut through your cutting of your timber. And none of those teeth are going to be out of alignment. They're all going to follow each other. If one of them jumps out of alignment inside that cut, it's going to dull your blade a lot quicker. So the beauty of this is that if you set it up right, and every tooth is at that 30 degrees and the same amount of sharpening, you're going to get the best performance out of your chain every time. And how easy was that to sharpen your chain?